Perfect World Episode 205. After many years apart, what will Shihao feel when he sees the Willow Deity again in the higher realms? Continuing from the last episode, the Undying Being engages in a fierce battle with two great sect masters. The heavens and earth tremble violently, and the stars of the entire universe seem to be falling down. At this moment, the sect master of the demonic dragon Dao spits out a dragon pearl and attacks the Undying Being. Seeing this, the elder of the Kuan sect uses the Kuan-Peng fist to confront the demonic dragon Dao's sect master. In a single moment, the mountains in this area collapse, turning into dust. Following this, the demon lord, Yuan Luofu, Zheng Gu, and other sect masters all join the battle. The killing intent soars to the heavens, shaking the 3,000 states of the higher realms. Facing the siege of a group of sect masters, even a powerful being like the Undying Being has to temporarily retreat, unwilling to be surrounded. Otherwise, he would surely perish there. Especially this time, the Undying Being's main body has appeared. For the various major powers, this is a perfect opportunity to kill him. Therefore, several sect masters join forces to seal off the sky, preventing him from escaping. Multiple wounds appear on the Undying Being's body, and blood flows out. He shakes his body violently, bone patterns all over his body emitting a sacred light, sweeping across his enemies. At the same time, he dives directly towards the demonic dragon Dao's sect master. The two fight fiercely, and finally, a hand rips off a large chunk of flood dragon flesh. Blood stains the broken ground below. Immediately after, the Undying Being stretches his 10,000 zhang tall body, like a demon god, desperately charging forward, slaughtering his way through. He lifts up a massive white rhinoceros and then tears it apart with force, shredding the terrifying creature with astonishing defense. However, during this process, several sect masters also use their magic power to bombard the Undying Being's body, severely injuring him, almost causing him to explode. If any sect master had realized that the Undying Being had cultivated the undying and unextinguishable art, they would understand why he dared to be so reckless. Because the undying and unextinguishable art is a divine ability left over from the previous era, rumored to allow one to remain eternally undying. It can turn death into life amidst calamities. Just like a moment ago, if anyone else were besieged by a group of sect masters, they would undoubtedly be annihilated, body and soul. But although the Undying Being was injured, he did not die directly. Instead, he quickly recovered. On the other side, the Kuan sect elder, despite being covered in blood, continues to fight fiercely amidst the crowd, unyielding. Suddenly, the elder shoots out two deadly rune beams, piercing through a sect master's forehead. He dies on the spot. The sect master's faces darken, vowing to kill the Undying Being's main body today, no matter the cost. Just then, a golden-winged Great Ping and a young Azure Sky Ping arrive, joining the battle. They are both descendants of the Kuan-Peng. Although not direct offspring, their bloodlines are extremely pure. They are renowned throughout the 3,000 states of the higher realms. Both clans are overwhelmingly powerful, and few dare to provoke them. However, despite their strength, they are not enough to make all the sect masters apprehensive. After all, there are only two of them. The Bone Master of the Vilebone shouts at the two experts, "Do you also want to become enemies with us? Don't you know that this is obstructing the great torrent of the world, the will of all the great sects?" The Heavenly Lord also declared that today, no one can change this outcome. However, in the sky, golden willow leaves flutter down, one after another. People faintly hear a clear voice, "Is that so?" Although the voice is not loud, it reverberates in all directions. At this moment, the expressions of all the sect masters change dramatically, especially those who participated in the lower realm battle. They have all witnessed the power of that willow tree. Therefore, they naturally believe this aura cannot be mistaken. Of course, many also believe that the Willow Deity has already entered the primordial gate and could never return alive. So someone shouts, "Who is pretending to be a god?" In short, they don't believe it, thinking someone is playing a trick. But Shihao is extremely excited, almost crying out, because he believes the leaves in the sky definitely belong to the willow deity. Although there aren't many leaves, each one is crystal clear and emanates powerful fluctuations. Then a blood python shouts, "It's just a trick. That person can't appear again. What can you do to me?" This is a sect master. Although his cultivation isn't very strong, he is still a great sect leader. At this very moment, a golden willow leaf shatters the void, instantly piercing through the blood python's forehead. Despite his struggles, his entire body eventually dims. A sect master dies just like that, by a single golden willow leaf. Everyone present is terrified upon seeing the scene. They're filled with dread. Just one willow leaf ended the life of a supremely powerful being. What a powerful divine ability this must be. Especially those sect masters who had fought against the willow deity before know how terrifying he is. After all, in that battle back then. In that battle, it was just the willow deity alone, facing the siege of several sect masters. Single-handedly, he fought his way out, easily slaying multiple sect masters. His power was too terrifying and extraordinary. It caused a great uproar in the higher realms at that time. Of course, many sect masters guessed the willow deity's identity. But after much investigation, they were horrified to discover that the willow tree was still a remnant back then. Because in ancient times, some saw him undergo nirvana and rebirth, transforming into a seed. Others heard that the willow deity had ventured through some perilous place and encountered an unprecedented tribulation. His tree body was struck by the 9 heavens' immortal lightning, almost dying. At that time, the willow deity was still in a weakened state. It was a miracle that he survived. But this also shows how terrifying the willow deity's power is. Back then, a willow deity who hadn't yet recovered to his peak could wreak havoc. Now that he has appeared again, how can people not be apprehensive? Meanwhile, a 5-colored peacock arrives, soaring through the sky, looking up at the willow deity in the sky with reverence. This is the peacock deity lord. People are puzzled. Why is a sect master like the peacock deity lord so awed by that willow tree? But only a few know that the reason the peacock deity lord was able to rise to power was because he was granted a drop of 5-colored divine liquid by a willow tree in his youth. That's how he eventually became a great power. Then, a calm voice echoes from the void. The world is in chaos, war is rampant, and the riverbanks are wailing. Everyone, take a step back and disperse. Suddenly, the bone master of the vile bones steps forward, holding a divine sword. He says, "I don't believe that person can come out after entering the primordial gate. Since ancient times, all supreme beings who have entered have died." Upon hearing this, everyone present is unsettled. They look at each other, unsure of what to do. Then Guo Jianyun walks over from afar and explains to everyone that is indeed not the willow tree from the lower realm. It comes from Immortal Valley, where some natives are guarding an ancient ancestral spirit, which is this golden willow branch. Yin Chuan adds, "That's right. It's not the willow tree you seniors encountered in the lower realm. This is just a willow branch." The difference in power between the two is vast. Beside Yin Chuan, there are several native sect masters, including the Silver Snow Demon Python clan. He confirms that the 8-armed Hun clan and the Centaur clan are guarding a dormant willow branch, not a complete willow tree. Hearing this, the sect masters present suddenly understand. They feel relieved. They know that this is not the real deal. Although a willow branch can unleash a powerful attack, it cannot sustain a prolonged battle. Actually, Shihao has also guessed that this is likely the golden branch guarded by the 8-armed Hun clan. He had interacted with them in that ancient land and already knew that this branch is just a part of the willow deity's projection, which will eventually dissipate after a long time. But Shihao didn't expect it to appear here. The Heavenly Lord Sect Master says, "So you're trying to deceive us with your tricks, Undying Being, and that broken willow tree? Let's see how you can escape today." Upon hearing this, Qi Daolin and the Undying Being remain calm, their fighting spirit high. Just then, 9 figures appear simultaneously. It's Shihao and the 9 sect masters he rescued in Immortal Valley. They have rushed here from Immortal Valley. This confirms the words of Guo Jianyun and Yin Chuan. The golden willow leaves dancing in the air are related to the 9 sect masters from Immortal Valley. They are the ones who brought out the broken willow tree. The sword master says, "You Immortal Valley immigrants, if you could just be peaceful, we could all coexist without problems. But if you interfere, you're declaring war on all the sects of the 3,000 states of our higher realm." The golden-winged Great Pang retorts, "Do you really think you can represent the 3,000 states of the higher realm?" The Azure Sky Pung also nods in agreement. They are willing to stand with the undying being. At this moment, a snow-white old turtle in the distance says, "A great calamity is about to begin. War will be everywhere. Let's just stop." At this time, the sect masters of the Patching Heaven sect, the Bujia Heaven sect, and others also appear. The situation has become increasingly complicated. Many hope to stop the fighting, but some harbor malicious intentions, filled with hostility. The Heavenly Lord sect master shouts, "9 Immortal Valley sect masters, you bring a tree branch and think you can fool us? If you can't give us an explanation, this won't end well today." The Bone Master of the Vile Bones explicitly states that Zui Shue's descendant must die today. Qi Daolin calmly replies, "We weren't afraid just now, and now with more allies joining us, do you think we'll fear you?" Soon, the undying being attacks again, fighting with the sect masters. Now, the pressure on him is significantly reduced. After all, the golden-winged Great Ping, the Azure Sky Ping, and the 9 sect masters have joined the fight. In an instant, the earth shatters and the sky cracks. Ghosts weep and gods wail. It seems as if the world is about to collapse. Not far away, a bronze immortal hall glows with auspicious light, trembling violently. Everyone realizes the first-generation supreme being of the Immortal Palace is about to fully revive and descend once again. At this moment, a deep voice suddenly rings out, "Undying being, Supreme Dao Grounds, and Immortal Valley natives, I think you should all be suppressed." The undying being retorts, "Do you think we fear you? If you have the ability, come at me." The next moment, the entire bronze palace begins to shake, rapidly hurtling down towards the undying being and the others. At the critical moment, a golden willow tree rushes forward, intercepting the bronze immortal palace. At the same time, the sword master of the Vile Bones and the Western sect master attack simultaneously, targeting the willow tree. Just then, a figure in white appears in the distance. He comes from the depths of the vast uninhabited region, accompanied by 3,000 spheres of light. These are small thousand worlds, with many ancient kingdoms submitting to him and gods and demons worshipping him. Then he extends a large hand and from a great distance, instantly sends the bronze immortal palace flying. He beckons again, grasping the golden branch and sweeping it gently. The Bone Master of the Vile Bones is sent flying, coughing up blood. Shirhao cries out, "Willow Deity." This time, he is absolutely certain that this is the real Willow Deity, not just a branch. Countless golden willow branches dance in the sky, transforming into chains of order, attacking the Western Sect Master. The Western Sect Master uses his Dharma idol, with thousands of hands moving, trying his best to resist the golden branches. But in an instant, the thousands of hands are pierced through by the golden branches and cut down. This scene shocks everyone. Several great powers are no match for the Willow Deity. The next moment, the bronze immortal palace trembles, glowing with auspicious light and charging again. The figure in white strikes out with another palm, sending the bronze immortal palace flying. It crashes into the ground. This is the terror of the Willow Deity's power. Upon appearing, he sends the ancient bronze immortal palace flying with a single palm strike and severely injures several great sect masters. That bronze immortal palace is considered one of the 10 greatest weapons in the higher realms. But in the Willow Deity's hands, it's like a toy, batted around. This is just the first clash, and a single blow makes the sect masters tremble. That is the supreme being of the immortal palace, who witnessed the rise and fall of empires, always transcendent. He is an undefeated ancient legend in the higher realms. But today, this invincible supreme being of the immortal palace, having just awakened, is swatted down by a powerful opponent with a single palm. What a sight this is! The Bone Master of the Vile Bones has blood at the corner of his mouth, holding a broken sword, his expression grim. He, a renowned great power of the higher realms, is injured in the first exchange. For someone who has lived for countless ages, this is a great humiliation. The Western Sect Master isn't doing well either. Although his main body isn't destroyed, the 1,000 arms formed from his magic power are broken. But even so, this is enough to shock him. He fought against the Willow Deity in the lower realm, and back then, the Willow Deity wasn't this powerful and domineering. In just a few short years, the Willow Deity has made such great progress. The Western Sect Master suspects that perhaps the rumors are true. The Willow Deity might be connected to the previous era, a surviving supreme being. At this moment, the most excited person is Shihao. After years of separation, seeing the Willow Deity again after several years makes his heart surge like the ocean. His emotions are overwhelming. He can't contain himself. Shihao's current achievements are entirely due to the Willow Deity's cultivation and care. When Shihao was young, although the Willow Deity didn't teach him supreme divine abilities, he showed him a path to invincibility, allowing him to see a wider world. Therefore, Shihao has never forgotten the Willow Deity's words. His goal is to one day fight alongside the Willow Deity, entering the world in his heart. Shihao thought the Willow Deity would never return after entering the Primordial Gate. He thought he could only search for him after becoming powerful enough. But seeing him again today fills him with surprise and joy. The Willow Deity glances back, shrouded in white mist. Even with his heavenly eye activated, Shihao can't see clearly. But he feels like the Willow Deity is smiling at him. Shihao clenches his fists, standing in the distance, waiting for the battle to end. He has absolute faith in the Willow Deity. Whether in the past or the future, Shihao believes there's nothing the Willow Deity can't accomplish. He is truly invincible.